Hey everybody, welcome to the Scion vlog.
It's this is vlog 16, something
sure,
like that?
Maybe 17. We don't know. Today we're going to talk about we got some nature questions and some of that other thing that's on the beginning of the character sheet. Calling, yes, some calling questions.
We're actually filming in our room today, so there's a lot of like cat activity. I apologize if they run in front of it.
This is our bonus room. I was thinking we'd call it our office.
Yes, we're in our office today because our house is really cold everywhere else. So. So our first question is just, how do you guys handle calling in nature?
I thought that was 2 questions. You definitely told me that was, calling in nature. Yeah, you told me that was 2 questions.
No.
What's the other question?
The other question is, if you don't use natures to gain willpower, what do you use them for?
That's blurred. Okay.
So, to begin with, originally we recognized that nature's giving back willpower is obviously an artifact of World of Darkness. It's not really as applicable to Scion, but we didn't have a better system to replace it, so we just were still giving willpower for it. It didn't happen very often. People didn't really remember to do it, you know. So
there was no need to.
Once in a while, somebody would be like, "Oh, hey, can I get a willpower for this amazing thing I did?" And we'd be like, "Yeah, sure." But so we used it for willpower, but not very much originally. Yeah.
So calling is more of a flavor thing. It's more of a character thing. It helps guide your character and it's something to have fun with.
It's a good place for the player to be like, here's a one-word description of kind of what I want to be all about as a character.
Or a cool phrase, because cool phrases are better.
Yes, so sometimes they'll change, overplay, sometimes they won't, but somebody might start with something real basic like scientist. My calling is scientist. Or somebody might start with something more grandiose like heir to the throne or free spirit or, you know.
Grandiose like free spirit? Yeah, so, and then there's nothing mechanical for them.
Yeah, they actually don't need anything mechanical. It's more to get you thinking about what is it that you want to kind of be and represent. And we actually encourage them changing over time as you get to like demigod, and you're like, well, I'm not really a scientist anymore now. I'm building block of civilization. That's my new calling. You know, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, so it's to be something to aim for and something that you're doing.
Yeah, it should always kind of describe what you think of as your core self, and you know what you're shooting to be. So by the end of your character turn, it'll kind of overlap a little bit probably with what you're god of, but it gives you a good, flavorful description of what you want, and the storyteller knows to look at that and say, okay, that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. Then what do we use nature for?
Yeah, this brings us around to natures, talking about natures
right.
now. So they don't give willpower anymore.
Wait, what was the other question?
It was just, how do you handle calling in nature?
Really could have. I feel like
their remaining question is just natures. Talk about natures.
Could have formatted that better. Okay. Like, the first one could have been about calling. You like, what do you use calling for? And then the second question.
Well, I'm not in charge of what they asked. This is just the people. The people didn't format it the way you wanted.
You can change it a little. You can edit it. Okay. Tonight or tomorrow, we're reworking natures. They ended up being kind of an integral part. We'll see if that stays of the Slavic PSP that we worked on.
So in the middle of working on that, we had to stop and take a week to work on natures instead.
Yeah.
So that's why they're getting done right now. But we're mostly done with them. We're hoping to finish tonight, tomorrow, and get them out there. So
it'll be a new way to use natures, kind of new system to go with them. They won't give willpower back. They'll give something else. Hopefully, some people will find it useful in their games. I know I'll be switching. We switched God Game to it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably switch the Hero Game to it soon, after the break. But we don't want to give too much about it away. I think once we'll unveil it, there'll probably be a lot of questions that'll kind of roll into a better vlog.
Yeah, it's basically to encourage people to really work with their nature instead of making something you can ignore because you can always get willpower back. So it's more of it's going to give rewards that are more uncommon, things that maybe are more important and more difficult to get and then matter a little bit more than just willpower.
Right. But it is very, very R system friendly. So I don't think a lot of people who don't use certain parts of the game will find it very useful. And when it rolls out, you'll see what we mean. But along with that, there are a few new natures.
That's right. We actually redid the nature system, so we removed a few of the old ones that, again, natures were just brought in pretty much wholesale from World of Darkness. So some of them, like things like Loner, really didn't work very well in a Scion setting. So we removed them and replaced them with things that work a little better. And I can grab the list real quick here. You have a list on your desk.
What? This is important? I don't know.
I mean, we don't want to give them all, I guess, if you don't want to, but, you know. Got a few new ones. This one's an animal and this one's an animal.
Okay. Yeah, so There's a giant list of them, and then we cut this into about a third away.
So it'll be more. It'll give you more options, kind of, for character archetypes. We'll remove some of the ones that didn't really fit for Scion very well.
And then the descriptions of each are much more, much heavier and much more full, along with things that person does do and things they don't do.
Yeah, to make it take a little bit off the storyteller's shoulders, trying to always figure out, did this person really fulfill their nature?
Right. We wanted the fulfillment of nature to be a pretty specific thing.
Yeah. So, I don't know, we're going to be quite as vague about it. So
we can. Okay. All right, go for it. Talk about everything.
Talk about everything? Okay,
yeah,
all right, here's what's going to happen. Hopefully it'll be up soon. So if this sounds confusing, just wait till it comes out. Maybe it'll look better in the written word. So, what we're going to be doing is that when you fulfill your nature, instead of getting a point of willpower, you're going to get a point of determination. And determination really represents that you went above and beyond to fulfill the dictates of your nature, that you really embodied that nature as much as you could. And when you get up to... Do we do max virtue?
Your highest virtue.
Yes. So when you get dots of determination equal to your highest virtue, those convert into one moment of truth. And a moment of truth you can use if you go into virtue extremity to non-virtue extremity. Basically, what happens is that because you have fulfilled your nature so thoroughly and because you've been so true to yourself, you're able to, for that one time, say, this isn't me, I'm not doing it. And be able to, that's the only time you can really override and say, even though this virtue is a core concept for me, my nature is stronger because it's me personally.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also, if you don't get up to a moment of truth, but you have to roll a virtue, you can spend a dot of determination to remove a die from the virtue roll, so making it harder for you to virtue extremity. So it's kind of, they're going to be rare to get. You know, it's difficult to fulfill your nature in a meaningful way, so you won't get a lot of them. But when you do build up enough of them, when you really played your nature to the hilt long enough, that helps you be able to say, I'm going to do what my nature would do here, not what my virtue is telling me to do.
And that kind of, again, when I talk about how you may not find a use for it in your game if you're not using the rules exactly like we do, we have much more reliance on virtues than I think a lot of people do who don't find it to be fair, or don't like their players being unhappy.
Yeah, if you have a virtue extremity, this is not useful for you.
Right, but we definitely have a system where virtues and virtue extremities come up very, very often, and people are often saddled by them, and I felt that nature was a great place to balance that out, to be another important piece of your character that fits in with all this, so that your virtues are kind of your divine kind of set of morals that kind of come down upon you, but it doesn't necessarily affect your nature, which is your core.
Yeah, they're kind of
person.
urges that are in your blood because of your divine birth, but your nature is what you personally really believe and embody. And since you're a Scion and you do have that ability to once in a while say, no, I'm really going to do it my way, as you see sometimes in mythology, when once in a while there'd be that moment of truth where someone is just like, I'm not doing it, I'm going against the dictates of the Pantheon.
Yeah.
That's what you can do here.
Right. So that, that's your points where your tricksters normally, they're probably like still loyal to the Pantheon, still helping the Pantheon out, and then when Loki spazzes out at the end and says fuck everything, it's his loyalty doesn't kick in.
Yeah, he says, this time I've been a trickster long enough, I'm choosing to be a trickster instead of being loyal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. So hopefully that'll be fun for people. It'll give you kind of a bigger dimension to that idea. Make natures matter some more, make it important that you do things with them, so that instead of it being like a word on the paper that everyone kind of ignores. Like, I know some of our players have had natures since they were created that don't even fit the character anymore, but since they don't use them for anything, they've never fixed it. So, I'm sorry, one of our cats is screaming to be let out, but...
Go let her out real quick. So... I paused time by just making random tongue movements. So yeah, we think it's going to add another dimension. We think it's going to be super cool. We're going to let everybody change natures if they don't feel like theirs is appropriate with the new write-up. We don't want changing natures to be something that happens very often.
And to help combat that, we've made it so that if you switch natures, you lose any points of determination you already had.
Yeah.
Because if you're not a trickster anymore, then being a trickster a lot didn't help you anymore.
Did we say you have a number of moments of truth equal to your lowest virtue?
We did not. You can only save a number of moments of truth equal to your lowest virtue. So if you have a virtue that's just one dot, you can never have more than one moment of truth saved up at a time. So once you use it, it's gone.
Yeah. Moment of truth. I didn't sign off on that.
You totally signed off on it.
I don't know. It sounds pretty fake. Moment of truth.
It's a moment of truth.
I like determination, though. That's good.
Good. So, you
We'll
know,
see if Moment of Truth makes it over the next couple hours as we fight some more.
we're going to put all this up hopefully soon so that you can read all of the system. And we'll have the detailed descriptions of the natures up so you can take a look at those.
And it'll be tantalizing because you don't know how it's going to affect the Slavic PSP, but apparently this is a core concept.
According to John, yeah. So hopefully that will be done sometime soon, but we don't know exactly when. So
Yeah. Also, it's Christmas. Get off our back.
yeah, it's true. We got to go see our friends.
We don't
and
celebrate
stuff.
Christmas, but get off our back anyway.
And the important thing that I feel like I should tell you, because John's been freaking out about it for days, don't ask your storyteller for nature dots. Don't ask him for dots of determination. His whole thing, like, every time we talk about anything, he's like, but players are just going to bother the storyteller constantly. Did I get a determination? Did I get a determination? So don't do that. Don't be that guy, because John will hate you.
I will.
Yeah.
But also, STs need reminders once in a while.
Yeah, don't be the ST that never gives out determination either.
Right.
Just like natures now, if you were using them, but I don't know if anyone is actually using them, because we definitely weren't, so.
Yeah. I feel like there's one more thing.
About nature's callings?
Yeah, it's not about natures. No, it's definitely not natures for the system. I believe we got some vital parts. You talk about how determination can be used to lower dots. That's what it was.
I did.
At God, when you roll your virtue to do something against your virtue, you roll double the dice. So a dot of determination lets you take away double the dice.
Yeah.
It lets you take away 2 dice from your possible.
So theoretically, if you have, you need 5 dots of determination before you get a moment of truth, and you only have 4 of them filled in. You could still spend those 4 dice or 4 dots of determination to take 8 dice away from the roll.
Yeah.
And that would make it a lot harder to virtue somebody opposite. So.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to help a lot of our players with some stuff. They have the dimensions to their characters, but they're not getting benefit from one half of that, and so
yeah, we want it to be something that rewards characters more for playing who they are. Because right now it's almost not rewarding them for being who they are as much as for kowtowing to their Pantheon's needs. So this gives you, bonuses and from virtues if you do what the Pantheon wants, but bonuses from nature if you don't, if you do your own thing. So sometimes they'll go together, sometimes they won't.
Yep.
I think it'll be good. So
yeah, no, we're really excited about it. Worked really hard on it. Slavs will be coming out soon.
Very soon.
People may or may not agree with this new system. I don't know. It's up to you. This is the first time I think we've really added something that's very new and core to the rules as a whole. It's like a whole other
I think the only other big thing we've ever done is the whole number of booms mechanic.
Right. Oh, that's true. We use that for a bunch of stuff. But yeah, so it's totally new mechanic, and we really like it. We're thinking we're going to have a lot of fun with it, but it'll be kind of see if you like it or not. I don't know.
Yeah, if it's something that it seems like you're never going to remember to do, or you don't feel like you don't use virtues enough for it to matter, then maybe don't bother. But we're looking forward to it. So.
Yeah, we're super excited. It's going to be super cool.
Yes. So I think that's really all we had to talk about natures today. So
mission accomplished. For the break, there will only be 1 blog post a day. Are they going up at 8 or 5?
I think at 8.
Okay.
Around 8.
So that'll be probably through till the first of the year.
Yeah, I think something like that. For like a week, there's going to just be 1 a day. It doesn't mean we died. We just started doing other stuff because of the holidays.
Yep. So. We may not do one next Saturday. I'm not either.
Okay.
Me and Charlotte.
Oh, okay, maybe. We'll keep you posted.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, so if you need to ask questions about Crazy New Nature System, you can in the comments, although we might just be like, we're going to post it in a few minutes, leave us alone. But
yep.
Yeah, so I think that's all we got today, and thank you guys for watching.
Thank you. See y'all later.